All right, guys, I am back with another DC update, the second for the day. And I wanted to follow up on my last video and with that individual who basically said that Warner Brothers Discovery and David Zaslav was looking at my stuff, which I highly doubt. And if they are, good. I hope they understand that there are those of us who are not about to let this fire die out and continue. But I'm going to show you what the follow-up was because I got a direct threat, and so we're gonna take a look at that. But I am convinced that that person is either young 20s or is probably a teenager themselves. I actually went to they had a profile on LinkedIn. I wanted to find out who they were. And they have Yoda with a lightsaber as their cover photo or their picture. Who does that? That's not how LinkedIn works. LinkedIn is a professional website. And it did say on there that they worked in security, but it was unspecified. It was just bizarre. At any rate, I'll show you the interaction that we had here in a few minutes, but I do have a few pictures to show you first. There's something big happened today, as a matter of fact. All right, so here's the first photo I have, and this is from the Wrap. It says, exclusive, James Gunn turned in the first draft of Superman Legacy last week, just before the writer's strike. So some people assumed that he'd already turned in the final draft and that it was done and that he would come back, for directorial work on this while the writer's strike is going on, and that is not the case. I don't think he plans on going past the line at all. I think he is going to be out. He might be consulting, through communication, but he won't be involved or be on set or anything else through the writer's strike because he is a writer, and that's a big part of what he does. So a lot of people don't realize he wrote the Dawn of the Dead or whatever it was, the first movie by Zack Snyder, that first zombie movie. He was actually the writer of that. So I don't think he's going to cross the picket line at all. He from what he stated, he is all in on this writer strike, and I do believe what he said is fact, that he is all in. So I don't think we're going to be seeing much of him in regards to that, at least not the Superman project until that writer strike is over, and we'll see how long it goes. All right, so the next picture here I have is kind of sad. It said, despite using his Batman and including the Burtonverse, Tim Burton was never consulted during any stage of the production of what they're talking about is the production of The Flash, not even as a courtesy, which is a shame, especially if the rumors are true that they're going to have his version of Superman in there. That's going to be sad if he was never consulted, but we'll see what happens when the movie actually gets released here in about a month and a half or so. Well, a little more than that. Now, here's the big news of the day. So, Jim Lee has been named president of DC. The artist turned executive re-ups the lead to lead the iconic comic book publishing company that is part of Warner Brothers Discovery. And I'll be honest with you about comic books. Comic books are in a very bad place right now. If you guys saw my little video, if you go to my shorts, I did a little video of my comic book collection last week. And right now, I would say right now is the worst time for comic books in my lifetime. The stories are not very good. There's a lot of political meandering going on, and it's just not, they're not entertaining. And it's really a shame to see what comics have become. Now, Jim Lee is a bright spot in all of this. I loved his Hush series, the Man of Tomorrow series he did, the Superman story. I love a lot of the stuff that he does. I love his art. Hopefully, he's going to bring some stuff to the table that will help correct this ship, but I'm not counting on it because I think he was one of the ones that championed taking Superman and changing his slogan, and he was one of the ones at the head of that who was happy to do that. And that's the kind of stuff I don't want to see happen. There's no reason to change tradition when it's a part of a character's, their identity. But Jim Lee's a good guy, and I'm hoping he can right the ship. All right, so here we are. The big part of this story is the rest of what Luke did. So I asked him to come back and give me details. I wanted to know who these people were, what's going on, because he gave just vague answers. Now, this guy likes to use caps a lot, which is interesting. He said, dude, we talked about this, and we didn't talk about anything. He's the one that came after me. He said, you are misquoting me. He goes, I did not say sued. Of course he didn't say sued. That's in the past tense. He said people were looking at possibly suing me. He absolutely said that. You guys saw it in the last comment. He said, I work security for many things. I don't know what that means. I should not even be talking to you. What does that even mean? He said, but the discussions have happened. What discussions? I even asked him. So we're going to go through this comment and you'll see how I responded. He said, look, all you have to do is simple. Just don't hype anything hopeful at all about future Snyderverse. That's all you have to do. Yes, we miss Snyderverse, but it's gone. Stop talking about the SnyderCon. It wasn't that great. Real DC, it wasn't Cavill. It wasn't Snyderverse. It was almost before you were born. It's called Christopher Reeve and the first Superman movies. It was called Smallville, which had many DC heroes and villains appear on that show, even Supergirl. Snyderverse is not great. Again, I kind of like the Snyderverse, and I like you. I didn't get the rest of it. There was more in there. You know what? I'm going to pull this up so you guys can see this. I don't know why that whole comment didn't come through, but we can look at it here. I was pretty sure I grabbed the whole thing. But he said, many DC heroes and villains appear on that show, even Supergirl. Snyderverse is not great. Again, I kind of like the Snyderverse, and I like you, but you cannot deny that in past videos you have hyped about Justice League 2 and 3. I never said they were happening. No, and for the rest of you, just check out the video done by Film Junkies where a document and tweet and email is discussed. And I couldn't find anything, okay? I don't know what he's talking about. He didn't leave a link or anything. There, the full rumor of Snyderverse and plans for Justice League 2 and 3 are printed out on that show. Film Junkies prove line by line why the rumor and belief is bullcrap. Just check it out. Then you can all get angry. I believe this is where Aaron Fisher gets most of his popular ideas about Snyderverse. No, it's not. He, too, believed false rumors. There is no future for Snyder and Justice League. Sorry, fans. So my response was, I shouldn't be talking to you. The discussions have happened. I said, LOL BS, prove it. I'm not going to stop because some random person told me to. Nice try, though. You cannot tell me what I can and cannot talk about. It's my channel. This is where the threat comes in. He said, Aaron, last time. Did you even check out his video? No, because your previous statement, it was less than 10 minutes ago. So you didn't check out that video. In all honest, this guy doesn't even speak proper English. I don't care if they sue you. It's your problem. You can dismiss me. It's not a biggie to me. I now consider you a fool. You throw away carefulness and disregard warnings. Go ahead. See what happens. Cheery bye. Yeah, this is some bizarre stuff. I said, I don't need to watch their video, and you did just threaten me. What is wrong with you? They can't sue me. Sue me for what exactly? So, people said, what an attention seeker, wrong. So let's take a look at this here. Do not come to my channel and threaten me. I've never threatened any individual on my channel. I've never threatened anybody individually. I don't make false statements. I bring you guys the news that I find. And don't come here and threaten me, okay? Just the fact that he says these things are going to happen, discussions have happened. He didn't answer any of my questions. I asked for proof on who these people were. He didn't say anything. He just said that the discussions have happened. In regards to what? What discussions about what exactly? I have never said that Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3 are definitively going to happen. I hold hope that they are going to happen, and I will always do that. If you're here on my channel new for the first time, know that I support what Snyder was doing. Not everything. I didn't like the whole gods thing, but that was scrapped, and at the Snyder Con, they did let it be known that that idea was scrapped and wasn't going to be used. But I didn't love everything that they were doing, but everything I've seen so far has been freaking amazing. Those three films, Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, the Ultimate Edition, and Zack Snyder's Justice League, are amazing films, amazing superhero films. They are my favorite superhero films. Like, I could watch those over and over again. They're made for adults. They're serious. They're not full of a bunch of juvenile jokes. They're not full of masturbation jokes, dick jokes, whatever else you might want to call it. They're serious. They're done well. What Gunn is doing, on the other hand, seems to be juvenile. Now, I will be going to see Guardians of the Galaxy 3 tomorrow, and I will have a review for that, and we'll see how that movie is. It's getting trashed overseas, and here in America, critics seem to love it, but there's no score for the audience yet because it hasn't been released yet. It does officially start playing tomorrow, and I do have the first showing available, and I will be going to see it. It is a 2.5-hour film, and people who have seen it said you feel the whole 2.5 hours, and that it's kind of disjointed, but all does come together at the end. So we'll see how that movie ends up. I'll let you guys know if it's good or not. I really liked the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Enjoyed the second one. Didn't think it was nearly as good as the first. And this one is going to determine whether this is a good, a worthy franchise or not. I've never seen Gunn do anything amazing, and so I don't know if he's going to be able to pull this off or not, but we'll see. I'll have my review up for that tomorrow. I do appreciate the support. I will have more videos coming, and I do appreciate it. We'll see you guys on the next one.